Hello and welcome to another update video about AVAX. AVAX has moved basically just sideways in the last few days. We had a nice rally after breaking out of the corrective price channel to the upside and then a dip without really any significant movements. So we're going to take a look at the price action now on the smaller time frame. Before we do that, a quick look at the 4 hour though. So here it's still a 5-wave move up. I'm tracking on the 4 hour time frame to the top here that formed in March, 17th of March. We then had a corrective pullback, what I label as an A, B, C structure. But it missed the ideal target at $18.80. That's not anything new for you. That is just the ideal target because we talked about that before. So if you watch previous videos, you know about that. That's the 100% extension of the initial decline, of the initial A wave down. Ideally, the C wave would have reached it. Not should have reached it. I mean, it's not about, the market has to do it, but it just would have been ideal. And sometimes, when these ideal targets aren't reached, and that could have been because Bitcoin was turning around and the correction is technically not complete, and then it might be a bit more difficult for a price to recover, as we can see at the moment on the AVAX chart. It's a bit of a mess what happened since the 5th of July. What's been happening? So in a more extended correction scenario, the price could easily form another low. So in the more simple interpretation, we have an A, B, C structure. In a more complex interpretation, we have a W, X, Y, and the Y wave is an A, B, C. And we might have started wave C to the downside in the yellow count. Before we zoom in, it is important that the $13.39 level is key support. So that's important to understand. That's really key support. Doesn't mean we have to test it, but if we get another low, it is likely going to be the 1880 level next that will be tested. Just important that to maintain any bullish perspective, the 1339 level needs to hold. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, the white scenario shows what we need to see for a 5-wave move up. I don't believe it. In the signal I posted earlier today on Discord, I highlighted the price has dipped below micro support but not sustained there. Therefore, one more high could still unfold in the white scenario to provide some evidence that wave 2 has bottomed on July the 5th. That's here. However, the break of micro support makes the yellow scenario more likely, which means further downside. I would assume one more low is forming until the price provides a 5-wave structure to the upside, because only the 5-wave structure to the upside would indicate to us that a low has formed. Everything now is just corrective. We have overlapping price action that indicates typically not yet strong upside momentum. We have an overlap here between this high and this low. Now, it's never great. Now we have more overlapping price action here. It's just all a choppy mess. So we don't really have nice higher highs, higher lows. In fact, we've just made a lower low. And yeah, as I said in that update to gold members earlier today, one more low should be assumed. If the price can turn around now to the upside and break above the last high at $33, and then we get 5 waves up, we can treat that as a signal that a low has formed, probably. Problem with this chart, and I mentioned that also before, previously in one of the last videos, that the third wave, what would be the third wave, so wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, it reached only the 1.236 extension. That's extremely weak for a third wave in crypto. So again, already that was a warning, but I mentioned that, and you can see what happened. We broke support, right? So if the third wave doesn't get to the 1.38 extension, you often see a lot of weakness, and this could have been like wave 1 to the downside now in the yellow count after a B wave topped. Wave 2 to the upside, maybe we started wave 3 to the downside, then another 4, 5. And from here, 1880, from that area, the price could make another attempt to turn around. So that's how I see AVAX at the moment. That means if we get another low below the Thursday low, and that's 2630, there would be a really strong confirmation that the top has formed in wave B. But I think it's worth keeping an open mind. I mentioned to you today we have a lot of volatility in the markets due to that Trump speech. When you watch the video, maybe that speech is already over. But often those events are a little bit, they introduce some short-term volatility that don't really change much. I've seen some insane comments about Bitcoin going to 100K today. and people meant it. Yeah, people meant it. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I mean, that's not. I mean, I don't know what, never say never, but that's not gonna happen. All right. So, okay. Well, happy to be impressed. I'm very happy to be impressed. But I mean, nobody. I mean, yeah. That again, it's the euphoria when people everybody's like, oh, there's a speech, and then buy the rumors, sell the news. We'll see. But either way, there isn't really anything that gives me confidence in terms of a low could be in. So we still track it, be aware of it, but only 3 waves formed at the moment, and it's worth staying in the present, right? And at the moment, I don't have any confirmation a low has formed. So it still means be on the side of caution, consider another low might happen in this wave Y of 2. That's the update about AVAX. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.